Mic check. Microphone check. 1, 2, mic checker. Testing. 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 All right. Let's get the show on. Oh, 800 yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? Khalid here with another episode of WHTVRINNIT. Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? Oh, 800 yo fam, WHTVRINNIT. Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? Oh, 800 yo fam, WHTVRINNIT. Yo. Oh, 800 yo fam, what's good, what's popping? I'm Khalid Omari. And you know what? Episode 80 episodes. Are you mad? Absolute mad thing. Do you know what the good thing is about episode 80? Yeah? It coincides, I believe, with the year my parents kind of emigrated to the UK, or expatriated to the UK from Jamaica. I think they done so separately because my parents were they knew each other as kids. My dad was from Petersfield, my mum was from Cedar Valley, and they used to go to the same primary school and stuff like that. And then ultimately, I believe, when my mum first came to England, I think my dad came first, and I got a story of that on video because he was telling the story and stuff. So R.I.P. Dad, big up to you wherever you are. May Allah stay keeping you blessed and whatnot, and thank you for many things. But yeah, so I think my dad sought out my mum, and then they rekindled, and then got married, and then had 3 of us. So they had my sister, then my brother, and then me. So it coincides. And obviously, when this episode drops, it's probably going to be Black History Month in the UK, because it usually falls in the month of October. So big up all the black brothers and sisters, the allies, hate that word. But yeah, big up everyone that consumes black culture on a regular, is influenced by it. Yeah, big up your chest, north, east, south and west. You know what I'm saying? I'm very proud to be a black man of Jamaican heritage in the UK. I'm very proud of that. And I've said it on previous episodes where it's almost as though you go through a bit of an identity crisis, because every time people ask, yo, where you from? I'm like, Jamaica. Well, was you born there? No, I was born here. But my parents and my bloodline is Jamaican. So I have 2 parents that are Jamaican that moved over to the UK and had me. So technically, I am still Jamaican, full-blooded, because both parents are Jamaican. On my mum's side, my mum is a mixture of my grandma. I think the descendants are from the Maroons and whatnot. And then my granddad on my maternal side, my mum's dad, is descended, they have lineage from those that moved from India to Jamaica. So a mixed bag of cultures, you get me? And on my dad's side, yeah man, pure Jamaicans. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a mixed bag of cultures, always been proud, always loved it, and always will. And I think I didn't realize how much of an influence my homeland had on me, until my adult age, because that's all I ever known. Some kids, they grow up within the British system, knowing about British music, knowing about British songs. But as soon as I came into existence, all I knew was Jamaica, your history, and how important it is to know your history so you can look forward. In terms of Marcus Garvey quoting, if you don't know your past, how would you know your future? I knew all of that because ultimately, as the child of expats, right, that moved from Jamaica to the mother country, right, your parents know that in some ways you are seen as like, I don't know if I'm using it in the right context, but you're seen as a bit of a pariah, right? So they prepare you for the harsh world that you're gonna face. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I'm in primary school and straight off the gate, like, man, I'm playing with like some white friends and some white British friends, may I add. And, you know, straight out of the gate, they're like, oh, my dad told me where black people come from. He said that God left you in the oven too long. And I'm like, rah. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, that didn't affect me. I never in my life wanted to be anything other than black, because I was taught about my ancestors, my history, my culture. So I took pride in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad was a Rastafarian. Both my parents grew up as Christians in Jamaica and embraced Islam before I was born. So, you know, when I was born, naturally took Shahada and was of the faith. So Islam is all I've ever known. However, all of the rituals like Easter bun, Good Friday fish, I didn't know they were Christian. I never knew there was Christian traditions. I just used to associate them with Jamaican stuff. And it was only when I started like really reading like the gospel and stuff, the New Testament and the Bible and everything, alongside like the Quran, Torah and stuff like that, that's when I put the pieces together. I was like, like Jamaican culture is basically built on Christian customs. So yeah, anyway, but yeah, I've always been a fan. Like the food, Jamaican food is banging, the music as well, because the music has always been good vibes in terms of it's either about love, peace, happiness, or rebelling. And that's what the music of Jamaica's taught me, to always stand up against injustice. Like when I was younger, I was definitely like infatuated with Bob Marley, like proper big fan. Before I can probably talk and articulate myself, like I used to watch Bob Marley all the time, and then that manifested into like Run DMC videos, like VHS and Public Enemy. So I've always been bred on a diet of rich culture. You know what I'm saying? Whereas some people that had grown up in Britain, not knowing the homeland, have maybe assimilated a bit more. So yeah, man, forever proud and forever grateful for my parents for being brave enough to make the move from somewhere where the sun shines all the time, you can grow your food in your garden, the flavors are just brilliant, and the people are like loving and trusting and welcoming, to moving to the grey overcast skies of the UK. Like, fair enough, the weather was the trade-off, and maybe the food, and maybe the hostility of the people that they're meeting. Because remember, when my parents in the like late 70s, early to mid 80s and onwards, like British nationalism was rife. Like there's places in Deptford to this day where, you know, you can see faded NF National Front logos graffitied on walls and stuff. And every time I watch the Babylon movie with Brinsley Ford, it reminds me of my dad and my parents, like being or growing up in the UK at that time. So I really have a deep, utmost respect for that whole generation, for everyone that braved coming over to give all of us a better life and a better start. You know what I'm saying? So I rate that. Always and forever I'm grateful, because I've been afforded the opportunity for, say, free education, great housing and living conditions, mixing with people from across the world, you know what I'm saying, earning, like being able to travel as well. So there's so much I'm grateful for my family for, like for really being brave enough to move to London, because they faced a lot of hostilities, so we could enjoy the fruits of their labour. Like there was never a time where man was younger that I felt the struggle, if that makes sense. Never a time I felt the struggle. And even though my parents split, at a time where I was growing up, it's like the knowledge and lessons that I was taught from my dad and stuff like that, it never felt that he was distant, because ultimately man had conditioned me and taught me so much different lessons and stuff like that for me to become a self-sufficient thinker. You know what I'm saying? So I just got to big up my parents still. Like, my parents were such a great mix. My mum, in a way, was like the disciplinarian in a way, or like kind of strict and with upheld standards. Like, I will go to my friend's house and be able to smoke weed and whatnot, but in my yard, could not do that. My mum did not know I smoked until a very funny incident. You get me? And then even after that, it's out of respect. Man couldn't bring, bumping the mic again. Man couldn't bring girls home, nothing. Like, I had friends that could have bare people running through their yard. Me, nah. Like, very strict. It wasn't strict, but there were boundaries that we respected, you know what I'm saying? And there was no physical kind of reprimanding. It was just, these are the boundaries, don't cross it. And we all respected that. So yeah, big up my mum. And my dad was more so free flowing, because it's almost as though when man used to stay with my dad and my other siblings and stuff like that, like, he used to facilitate discussions, like allow us room to share a point of view and school us that way. And I think to a degree that's where I get my facilitation skills from. Later on in life though, I did find out that my mum like had aspirations to be a journalist as well. So maybe in some sense, like, I get some of my blogging and stuff like that and my intrigue from my mum. But yeah, man, I gotta big up my parents, man. Big up all my Jamaican family as well, and the folks back home. I don't go home often as I should, but ultimately when I do go back, it stays with me for a lifetime onwards. Such a beautiful place. Very, very, very beautiful place, man. And this Black History Month in October, there's so many things that you should read or even listen to. Like, listen to a few Bob Marley albums. You know what I'm saying? Listen to a Greensleeves compilation. Maybe a Burning Spear. Because that would teach you, like, through listening to the lyrics, that would teach you a lot, man. You can see where these people are coming from. You know what I'm saying? And big up my dad. But the good thing about my parents is they never forced us into any set spirituality or religion. Like I said, we all took Shahada at birth because my parents were Muslim at the time, or, followers of the faith. But we was never forced to follow that. And also, my dad was a Rastafarian as well. Yeah, and in my mum's later life, she I think, is it re-baptized or something? So, she goes to church. She's been a very godly lady throughout her life. But I think with my parents, it's like what they taught us, it transcends like a set religion or anything like that. People choose their paths, but they gave us room to explore. And I think especially me, I benefited from that. Even though Islam has just been the constant for me, like throughout life and everything else, I really have an open mind and I really interpret the books and the teachings on a different level. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I guess this episode is just a thank you for Black History Month, to my parents for giving me the start in life, to my family and my culture. You know what I'm saying? For Jamaica, because one small island out of many, one people, right? One small island can have such a humongous influence on everything from subcultures of music, on food, on fashion. You know what I'm saying? On hip hop. Think about it. What birthed out of Jamaican culture? Hip hop, jungle, garage, grime. Like, and I'm talking about the MC part of these cultures. It's a mad thing. That's why I love growing up in Britain. I could never see myself growing up anywhere else because I feel as though this was ultimately the perfect place for me. You know what I'm saying? Because with Britain, it's an amalgamation, yeah, of cultures. Just one big melting pot coming together. You know what I'm saying? One big melting pot of things. And I am a British-born Jamaican. That is my identity. I've solved it. It took me 37 years, but I am a British-born Jamaican. So anyone who asks me, that's me. But anyway, 0800 Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? I'm Khalid Omari. Thank you for tuning in to the Whatever In It podcast. Peace.
Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? 0800 Yo fam, whatever in it? Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? 0800 Yo fam, whatever in it?